Hare Krishna, everyone. So, in our previous class, we were discussing the shloka. In the shloka, we discussed that anyone who accepts what? What does he accept? He accepts that Krishna is Supreme Personality. The activities of Krishna are transcendental. They are eternal. So he never come back in this material world. He does not take birth again in this material world, but attains eternal abode of Lord Krishna. Isn't this just amazing? You only tell, can anyone be this much merciful? No one can be this much merciful. And do you know the amazing thing? What things? There are like lots of things that we think. Is it not? Lots of unnecessary things we think. But when we remember Krishna, when we remember Lord Krishna, or whatever we do it in the remembrance of Lord, then we get more and more liberated. We get more and more liberate. You will see there is nothing in this world which you are remembering, or if you are calling someone names, and that will purify you. Is it not? Not a single thing is there. If you will call it or if you will remember it, no any purification will happen. But see, the mercy of Lord, if we are remembering him, if we are chanting his names, if we are calling him, our purification is happening. You only think if it is like this, that if we are calling any material name, if we are chanting any material name, or we are remembering anything, if purification was happening, then from childhood only we are talking so much from our since childhood only, is it not? But did any purification ever happen? You only ask to yourself. No any transformation we can see in our life. Let me tell you one amazing example regarding this. Um, there is a neighbor near me, and he is basically an uncle. So he was telling me that he used to go at gym, used to go to gym, and there was his friend also who used to join him for gymming. So, like after a few months, suddenly, by the grace of Lord Krishna, he get the association of devotees. So, he stopped coming at gym now. He was not going to gym. So that neighbor, my neighbor, he was he was worrying. He was thinking that where that guy has disappeared. He's not coming to gym from so many days. What is this happening? So he called him. Not called him, actually, he met him someday. And after he met him, he saw that his whole character, means his, what to say, his attire was completely changed. Of course, you see, this is natural thing when one follows purity. His mind will purify, uh, his heart will purify. Also, you will see his face will also change. Yes, this is natural. Even Prabhuji once told me that your face is completely changed. You're not looking like you used to look before. So at the beginning when I joined Zoom meeting, I might be looking something like, see, this is natural that a material people, a person who is engaged in material things and another person who is engaged in Lord service, there will be lots of difference in both of them. This is natural. So now that my neighbor, he was surprised after looking at that man. He saw he was wearing dhoti kurta and he was putting Vaishnava tilak on his forehead. And earlier he used to consume non-veg, he used to consume alcohol, but now he quitted everything. That neighbor only, he was only telling me this thing, that I was just surprised. And even he also said that he also, showed me a video in which he was jumping like monkey in Hare Krishna Kirtan. He was jumping like monkey. So even though he was saying like that, his tone was not good, but then also he was appreciating only. Is it not? He was appreciating that he was enjoying in Kirtan actually. Not anyone, everyone can, jump like that. If you even want to become a pet, then why not to become a pet for Krishna? Just think about it. You will see people often become pets of ordinary bosses for their ordinary bosses. Is it not? Yeah, this happens. I have seen these things. So yeah, why not to become a pet for your Lord? But it's not like that. Krishna is very loving. Krishna really loves us. So yeah, this is not an ordinary thing at all. You know, after coming in Krishna consciousness, when you are practicing so many spiritual activities, you're serving Lord. So there will be many people. In fact, there will be some people who who they may chastise you. They will say, "Oh, you have gone mad. You're wasting your time." They will say this. They may say this because they don't understand the glories of Krishna, the glories of this path. They don't understand. That's why they say like this. They will say you mad. Srila Prabhupada, he says this, that people think we are mad, but we know that they are mad. Is it not? They are just thinking that we are mad. They are just assuming this thing that we are mad. But we actually know that those people are already mad who are thinking that we are mad. And if we are mad, then what is bad in that? Why not to become mad for Krishna? Not everyone, becomes mad for Krishna. So why not to become mad for Krishna? This is amazing. So yeah, we were discussing this shloka that whoever understands, whoever accepts that Krishna is supreme, he will never come back. Okay, moving forward now. In this verse, Krishna also points out that his descent into the material world is transcendental. The word Divya means transcendental. His activities are not in any way ordinary. Even today in India, At the end of August, the people are accustomed to celebrate Krishna's birthday. Regardless of sect, just as in the Western world, Jesus Christ's birthday is celebrated at Christmas. Krishna's birthday is called Janmashtami. And in this verse, Krishna uses the word Janma in referring to my birth. Because there is birth, there are some activities. Krishna's birth and activities are transcendental, which means they are not like ordinary births and activities. Yes. So now here, it's the discussion about celebration of Krishna's appearance day. It is basically appearance day of Krishna, which is called Janmashtami. Okay, Krishna appears. Krishna never take births. That's why it is said that Krishna's birth is transcendental. Transcendental means Krishna appears. It's not like, you know, when we are saying birth here, it's not like that, like we take births in this material world. So that doesn't mean that Krishna also takes birth like us. No, Krishna appears. Krishna never take birth. Krishna is eternal. Our soul is also eternal. That's why this body takes birth. Soul never take birth. Soul never takes birth. Soul is also eternal. Okay. So Krishna's birth and activities are transcendental, which means they are not like ordinary births and activities. One may ask how it is that his activities are transcendental. He is born. He takes part in a battle with Arjuna. He has a father by name of Vasudeva and a mother Devki and a family. What can be considered transcendental? So now this question might arise in mind, is it not? That Krishna also has parents. Krishna is also favoring Arjuna in battlefield. So what is transcendental in this? So Krishna says, Evam, evam yo veti tattvataha. We must know of his birth and his activities in truth. And the result is Tyaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti so Arjuna. When he leaves this material body, he is not born again, but goes directly to Krishna. This means that he becomes a liberated soul. Right now, we are not liberated. We are in a cage of this material body. Our soul is, you know, our soul is slaved under this cage of material body. So, yeah. He goes to the eternal spiritual world and attains his constitutional position. So one should know this thing. See, we discussed this same thing above in the shloka, that anybody who has accepted Krishna is transcendental, Krishna is supreme, he liberated immediately. Just think now, just taking name, just taking name of Lord Krishna once. If you have taken like from at the very beginning, when you take the name of Lord Krishna once, then only you got liberated. Now, if someone is accepting Lord as supreme, then why will he not get liberated? How is that even possible? Krishna is saying this. I'm not saying this. So whoever understands, he will never come back. Now see, in next line, what it is said, that his constitutional position. What is our constitutional position? Satchidanand. Satchidanand means, Sat means knowledge. Chit, Chit means Anand. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm saying Satchidanand. Sat means true. True means eternality. Eternal. Our true identity is that we are eternal. Chit means knowledge and Anand means bliss. So this is our real constitutional position. We are full of bliss, knowledge and eternity. All this can be obtained simply by knowing the truth, the transcendental nature of Krishna's birth and activities. So see, our real state is Satchidanand. We are full of bliss, full of knowledge and full of eternality. But due to, when we have came to this material world. So that's why we are not experiencing our real uh, state, our constitutional position. We are not able to experience it. And reason behind that is ignorance. That we are not able to experience our real state. But when we will reach to the abode, spiritual abode, that is the spiritual world. What is the spiritual world? Which is the spiritual abode? The place where Krishna resides? Golok Dham, Vaikunth Dham? Is it not? See, there are many worlds. You will see there is heaven, which we call Swarg in Hindi. There is Brahmalok. There are so many, loks. There are so many planets. But they are not spiritual. They are also material worlds. They also get destroyed by time. Only Golok Dham, Vaikunth Dham is eternal, spiritual for always. And when the person goes back to the spiritual world, then only he is able to experience his real state. That is Satchidanand Wala state. So one should understand this thing. So yeah, all this can be obtained simply by knowing the truth, the transcendental nature of Krishna's birth and activities. So see, all things are connected. Whoever is doing bhakti, how can he continue it for long? You only tell me. By hearing Shastras every single day. See, consistent knowledge is very much important to make you progress in your life. And that can be anything. Even if you are doing any ordinary things, then also you have to take consistent knowledge. Then only you will be able to do it for a long time. So if one wants to fix himself in bhakti, then he will have to hear Shastras every single day. Now, reading Shastras is very tough. I know. We can't do that. And if we, somehow, if we try to do that also, then also we will not be able to grab things very nicely by our own. We'll be able to understand things only, you know, till the intelligence we have. So one should understand this. As he hear more Shastras, he will be able to know more about Krishna, more about the transcendental activities of Krishna. And as we are doing this, we are getting more and more liberated. As we are doing anything in remembrance of Lord Krishna. Just like you see a knot. Have you ever seen a knotted rope? So just see how tightly it is knotted. So those knots will keep unknotting by time, which are tangled. So we are also tangled. Our rope is also tangled. So it will keep unknotting by time as we progress. Okay. Ordinarily, when one quits the body, he has to take up another birth. The lives of the living entities are going on simply due to living entities, changing dress from one body to another. Transmigration of the soul, according to the work of the living entities. Is it clear? That our, this body is just a costume. It's just a dress which keep changing. So ordinarily, when one quits the body, he has to take up another body. The lives of the living entities are going on simply due to the living entities changing dress from one body to another. Transmigration of the soul, according to the work of the living entities. So just think about this, this topic, that if it's not like this, if someone is assuming himself as a body, suppose he's just assuming, he's just saying, no, these things, I don't believe this. I believe myself that I believe this, that I am body. I'm not soul. Because I'm able to experience things by my body only. So yeah, this is only true. So just think, if it's like this, then someone who leaves his body, who has left his body, then okay, before moving to this topic, let's just understand one thing which which is which is discussed here, that it's not like this, that if someone has left his body, then it will take so long to enter in other body. It's written now here that ordinarily one quits the body, he has to take up another body. So what does that mean? That the time he quits, he leaves the body, then immediately he enters in another body. Okay, transmigration. This is called transmigration of the soul, which happens according to the work of living entities. Means his past karmas, what he did his whole life. According to that, and of course, what is he, what thoughts are going in his mind at the end stage of his life, last stage of his life. So it depends on it. His next birth is dependent on these things. So it's not like it takes so long to enter in another body. It happens immediately. And this process is continuing forever. It goes on like this. At the present moment, we may think that this material body is our actual body, but it is like a dress. Yes, it is like a dress. It is a dress actually. We see, even we don't know that which species we have been gone through till yet. Ever thought about this? And have you ever thought that why is it not in our remembrance now? Suppose we were, suppose I was an aunt in my previous birth. So now I am not able to even remember that thing. Have you ever thought about this? Krishna himself makes us forget this thing. And it is good only now. You only think if I was an aunt in my previous birth, so now it will be actually a great confusion. If I was an aunt in my previous birth, and if I was remembering all the, activities what aunt do. So now in my human life, I might be doing activities of aunt only. Is it not? I was not chanting Hare Krishna. I was not discussing these class. I might not be discussing these class. I might not be chanting Hare Krishna if I was remembering those activities of aunt. So it actually, it is the reason of a great confusion. So it is good only uh, if we have forgotten everything which we did in our past life. So this cycle always go on. So in reality, we have an actual body, a spiritual body, and this material body is a yeah is like a dress. This material body is our actual body, but it is like a dress which we see as a body. Dress of soul. We are souls, so it's our dress. Just a costume. Just, we have worn some clothes. Like I have worn a sweater. So, whatever we wear on the daily basis, we change it daily. Is here anybody who keep on wearing same clothes every single day? No, right? Even you will see, we often get bored of same clothes. Now it does not happen like that. If one is, doing bhakti, these things does not matter him a lot. So yeah, we keep changing our daily clothes. So same, this body is also costume which we have worn for specific period of time, and it will also be changed very soon. It will also get changed very soon. In next line, it is, written, in reality, we do have an actual body, a spiritual body. This material body is superficial compared to the real spiritual body of the living entity. Yes. See, it's not like this that if we are a soul, so we will be swimming in air after getting liberation from this material body. It's not like we will be swimming in air. No, or we will be, roaming here and there like a light. It's not like that at all. We receive spiritual body when we when we get liberate from this material world. I'm not saying that when we Yeah, of course, liberate means liberate from this world, liberate from this material body. So we receive spiritual body, just like Lord has spiritual, transcendental body. When this material body becomes old and worn out, or when it is rendered useless by some accident. So, it when it is torn, worn, damaged, broken, just like you see other material things, which torn, which torn, damages, broken, breaks. So same when our this body rendered useless by some accident, we put it aside as we might put aside a soil or ruined suit and take up another material body. Actually, we don't put it aside. Lord do this. Especially in old age, this often happens that we are not capable to do anything, or no energy or no capability left to do things. So this often happens in especially old age, or if someone has met with an accident. So this usually happens. So are you able to understand this thing? Just you only think, yeah, let's continue our that discussion. That is, someone is assuming that no, I am not soul, I am body. So just think about this, that if we were this body, then if one person leaves the body, then that body is still in front of our eyes. If he is really that person, then that body, that is still there in our in front of our eyes only now. Why now that person is not, why that body is not speaking now? Why that body is not doing any action, any activity now? Because there is no soul in it. There is no consciousness. There is no spiritual, that spark in it, spiritual spark, the soul in it. So hence, we already discussed on this in very detail in our first chapter. So this point is already clear. But then also we need to hear this again and again. That's why you will see many things are repeating in some or other ways. In some or other ways. Because we read it, but we never remember. So to fix this knowledge in our mind, it is very important to hear things again and again. So now there is this shloka. Let's see. Please recite with me. वांसांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, similarly, the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Are you able to understand this point? See, it's not like that whatever we are understanding here have been written by any ordinary persons. It's not like that at all. This is the knowledge of scriptures. So we should understand. Lord himself is telling everything. See, it's written Bhagavad Gita 2.22. So what Krishna is telling? That this body is just a costume. Just like one leaves his old clothes and gets new one, the same way we leaves this body and we enters in a new one. But then also, You will see, if in our house only, if someone changes his costume, then the person distresses a lot. Is it not? The person distress a lot. See, this should be understood. If we are taking knowledge here, then there should be no reason of grief. But if someone is distressed now also, that means he is not grabbing knowledge nicely. The knowledge of scriptures makes us so much strong. Today only, there was a devotee. She was telling me that, why don't you give lectures in public like Jaya Kishori? She said me like that. You really have a good communication skills. So I said, I'm already taking classes. And I told her one more thing. Let me tell you, all of you also, that there was a time when I was not into Krishna consciousness. I was so much underconfident, very much diffident person probably of this world. There was no confidence at all. So I was so much introvert. But see, by the glories of Lord Krishna, Krishna has just changed everything. Even you won't believe, I often hear my recorded sessions for making quizzes and all. So even I also, wonder that, is this me who is speaking like this? Literally. So it's not me who is speaking, it's Krishna who is making me speak. And we all should see things like that. It's not about just seeing things like this, it is reality. It is Krishna only who is, we are just instrument of him. He's playing music from us. Of course, when we turns to him, you will be able to observe this thing, that whatever good things you are able to do right now, it's because of Lord's grace. So yeah, okay. In the beginning, the body is the size of pea. Then it grows to become a baby. Then a child, a young boy, a youth, a grown man, and an old man. And finally, when it becomes useless, the living entity changes into another body. Now, for making you understand this thing, I'm gonna open a photograph to make you understand this thing more nicely. Oh, yeah, give me just 1 second. Here you go. See, it is clear from this image. You will see. Are you able to see this? It is clear from this photograph only. It happens like this only. Just like you will see a plant in beginning, very beginning, it starts growing from a seed. And then it grows, it grows, it grows, and then in end, it becomes a tree. And then that tree also, it becomes, by time, it becomes impotent, weak. then it also, that tree also, gets another species, gets into another species. So yeah, the body is there for always. Uh, sorry. The body is therefore always changing, and death is simply ultimate change of the present body. Now, this is very amazing point. Very amazing point. You only observe this thing by yourself, that you are the same person as you were in beginning. You might not be assuming yourself any other person, is it not? You are that person only which you were before. But our body is changing every moment. Every moment means what you were yesterday, you're not that same body now. So, for example, like yesterday, my throat was not that good, but it's not like this now. My throat is good now. So, see, my body is not same as it was yesterday. So, it is changing every moment. The time which has passed, it has passed. It will never come back. So, our body also, it is changing every moment. If you're still facing difficulty to understand this thing, then just, you know you may look at your photo which is 3 or 4 years old. You may just go and watch the see that photograph of yours. You will observe that, you will observe the change in your body. So this body changes, and we are not, even now also, we are not realizing this thing that it is changing. But when we look at our previous photographs, then we realize this thing. So from this, one should understand that we are not changing. This body is changing because we are soul. Soul never changes. So see what it is written here. Yeah, see, the body is therefore always changing, and death is simply the ultimate change of the present body. Actually, our body is dying every single moment. Dying means it's changing. So now let's see this shloka. देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरा तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर्धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति. As the embodied soul continually passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. The self realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. So, we already understood this point, that our body mm, does not take much time to enter in next body. So see, now Krishna is saying the self-realized soul is not bewildered by such a change. Now are you understanding that how important it is to take knowledge? When we take knowledge, then only we understand things. Otherwise, you only think about this now, that we were just assuming that people dies. Is it not? But they are not, they never die. So why anyone does not get bewildered? Because by knowledge he understand this thing, that no one dies. All the body is changing. The dweller within the body remains the same. So we are not changing, we are same. And although the boy grows into manhood, the living entity within the body is not changed. So yeah, it's not like that na. You see in your house that Golu, that chotu bachcha, the Golu, he is still that Golu when he has grown up. There is no change. Only change is uh, uh, only his body has changed. That Golu is still that Golu only. He has not changed. So the dweller within the body remains the same. It is not that the self who was there as a boy has gone away. Medical science agrees that at every moment the material body is changing. So see, just like a boy, he grows up. Yeah, by the time he grows up, so he is never stressed about this, that, oh, I am growing. No, he never stress. He never takes any stress if he's growing. Even you will think, even you can relate this with this thing, because I can really relate with this thing. When I was when I was a kid, I always used to think, oh, when will I get when will I grow up? When will I be, uh, you know, means you might be understanding. So people, even at least kids, often think like that. That when will we grow up? When will we go to colleges, etc., etc. So yeah, so like that person who grows up, he's not stressing that he's growing up. Same way, what it's written here, just as living entities are not bewildered by this, an enlightened man is not bewildered when the body undergoes its ultimate change at death. So when a person is, filled with knowledge, he has gained so much of knowledge, he has understood this point, that he is not this body and he never dies. So at last stage also, he will never get distress, because he has taken knowledge that I am not dying. I'm just changing my body. And of course, a devotee always know that he will go back to Godhead after leaving his body. So this is for sure. We will discuss these things. There are lots of things to be discussed in detail in future. Don't worry. We'll discuss all the things. So yeah, so he never get bewildered. Hmm. But a person who does not understand things as they are lemons, in the material condition, we are simply changing bodies all the time. That is our disease. It is not that we always change to a human body. Very important point. See, in next line, uh, we just read That person who does not understand things as they are, he laments. So if he's understanding, he's assuming himself that I am this body. So you will see people often who are assuming themselves as their bodies, they often do things for their bodies only. There is no any purpose in their lives, is it not? They just do everything for the sake of surviving, they just do for the sake of decorating their bodies and the stuff like that. Whatever he do it for his body only because he's assuming himself as a body. There is no any higher purpose in their lives. What to say of self-realization? They will never think of any self-realization things. They'll say, huh? Self-realization? What's that? That's why taking knowledge is very, very important. We should understand this thing that we are studying here. We are understanding, we are discussing these books, this knowledge. How fortunate we are that we got this human life. And more than that, we are taking this knowledge, which is very profound, very important thing. So it is not that we always change to a human body. We may change to an animal body or a demigod body depending on our karma activities. Yes, we can also become a demigod. So this always, depends on our activities, on our karmas, that what karmas are we doing. You can also become a Brahmaji. Do you know this? You can also become the king of heaven, Indradev. But one should understand that demigods also have material bodies only. They are not demigods for always. They also change their positions. You see, the king of heaven, he also falls down many times. So even becoming a demigod is really not a good thing because it is of what use? That's material only. It will get destroyed. So better to go back to Godhead and, never come back in these material worlds. That is intelligence. So yeah, it's not like that if we are human in this life, so we will always be human in all our births. If you see a dog, so it's not like he will remain dog for his all, in what in other birds when he will take. So it's not like he will remain a dog only. So I'll show you one more photograph for this. Yeah, see, very amazing photograph. See, look at this photograph. We might be this gorilla also in our past birth, or we might be this octopus also. Where is octopus? Yeah, it's here. We might be this octopus also. See, there are so many species. Just look at this. And see, just going through these species, and last, there is this human being. So there are so many species we might have seen. Even we might have never seen these species. So many species we might have never seen. Do you know what is this? I'm not able to. No, we don't have to, go much in detail about these species. Hmm. If you want to go in deep, just go in deep in understanding, Lord. You don't have to go in deep in such uh, crap things. No need to go. So yeah, so we might have never seen so many species, and we have been one of these species. So you see, after crossing all the species, one gets human life. After crossing all these species. So for example, if one has got human life, and now if he says that I love uh, swimming, I just want to swim. So okay, you become a nice dolphin and swim your whole life. You have been gifted, Maya Devi will say, you have been gifted this beautiful human life for doing bhajan for Lord, for doing bhakti to please Krishna and to go back to Godhead. But now you're wasting your life in swimming. Then okay, you become a dolphin and swim your whole life. Enjoy your life. So see, then after becoming this dolphin have to, pass again all these species. Next, this dolphin will become, I don't know, this snake, then this bird, then this ostrich, we call it ostrich, then this bat, and like this. Means this is not the actual, this might be just a random photograph, but things do, you know, it happens like this only. This might not be the proper sequence, but yeah, it is reality. When one crosses all these species, then he gets the human life. But for instance, any devotee only, he also looks like a devotee wearing dhoti. So yeah, if accidentally he has he has fed some prasadam to, let's say, any dog, then that dog will definitely get human life in his next birth only. He will not go with all these species now. That's why we should always feed prasadam to animals, birds. If you put a water pot on at your terrace, then put some prasadam water to it, prasadam jal. That bird, that pigeon, that parrot, that sparrow, who will, swallow that water, that will be prasadam jal, the offered water. So that bird will definitely get human life in his or her next birth. And of course, Krishna notices every little things we do for connecting beings with him, to him. Krishna notices every little thing. So you can also do this if you feed, biscuits to dogs, or you feed chapati to that dog. You can feed him Krishna prasadam. So can you just imagine, after how many births we got this human life? Human life is very, very rare, and every moment is very precious. Yes. So one should understand this thing. According to the Padma Puran, there are, okay, now we will continue our discussion in our next class. We'll stop our class here, our discussion here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hari Bol.